मैं बिहार की महिला संभागी से निवेदन करूंगा कि वो उपरना उड़ाकर हमारे मुख्य अतिथि महोदय का स्वागत करें। धन्यवाद, धन्यवाद मैम। कार्यक्रम के अगले चरण में हम बात करते हैं। जनरली ये होता है, जैसे हमारे संस्थान के प्रमुख भी यहाँ विराजमान है और आपको पता ही है कि जो अंतिम दिन कार्यशाला का जो प्रतिवेदन होता है, वर्कशॉप की ब्रीफ रिपोर्ट होती है, वो हम कार्यालय के व्यक्ति द्वारा ही पढ़ी जाती है। लेकिन इस बार सर मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूँ कि हमने इस प्रतिभागी को ही ये काम दिया है इस कार्यशाला के, क्योंकि उन्होंने किस तरह से इस कार्यशाला को लिया है। तो हम जब टीचर्स को एक्सपीरियंसेस के लिए बुलाते तो क्यों ना मैंने ये सोचा कि प्रतिवेदन का काम भी उन्हीं को दिया जाए। तो उन्होंने 14 दिन 15 दिन जो भी कंक्लूड किया है, उसके लिए मैंने हमारे यहाँ के बहुत ही प्रतिभाशाली प्रतिभागी हैं अभिषेक जी, तो उनको मैंने इसके लिए आमंत्रित किया है। तो मैं अभिषेक से निवेदन करूँगा कि वो इस कार्यशाला का संक्षिप्त प्रतिवेदन प्रस्तुत करें हमारे सारे प्रतिभागियों को। थैंक यू।
Good afternoon to Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. O.P. Sharma, Consultant, CCRT Udaipur, and Mr. Hitesh Paneri, Program Coordinator of CCRT Udaipur, and my dear friends from 14 states of India. I am Abhishek Pandey from Uttar Pradesh, welcoming you all here in Siddhi Samaroh. I am going to read out So here I am to present the summary of the workshop Role of Puppetry in Education in line with NAP 2020. The workshop on the role of puppetry in education in line with New Education Policy 2020 has been organized by Center for Cultural Resource and Training Regional Center Udaipur for the in-service primary school teachers across the country. This has been a 15 days workshop from 3rd October to 17 October 2023. 91 teachers from Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra, Puducherry, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal have been attending this workshop. The objective of the workshop was to incorporate puppetry as an aid to education. Prepare and manipulate different kinds of traditional puppets out of low cost as well as reused material, and lastly but significantly to encourage the teachers to use inexpensive teaching aids in the classroom. The entire workshop included more than 20 theoretical class, 5 practical sessions, 1 educational tour and lesson plan activity accompanied by listing of traditional puppetry, etc. So we are going to start from the introductory session of the first day. Introductory session commences with the welcoming of teacher by Mr. O.P. Sharma, Consultant CCRT Regional Center, and proceeded with the registration affair by the officials. This was followed by the lecture of Professor M.P. Sharma. He delivered his speech on the topic Puppetry as a Multifaceted Learning Tool for a New Pedagogical and Circular Structure. Reflection of New Education Policy 2020, focusing on the component of New Education Policy 2020 and its impact on the holistic development of classroom teaching. The session ended with the discussion about logistic by the CCRT officials Mr. Hitesh Paneri and Mr. Sunil Bhandari. Now we are on the second day of this workshop. Second day start with the group formation for regional contribution to Indian culture. This was followed by the lecture of Dr. P.C. Jain. He delivered his speech on imparting of value education through puppetry. This was followed by Mr. Ajay Chaudhary, who talked about राजभाषा का प्रयोग एवं संचरण and precisely explained all the regulation by the government of India regarding the expansion and development of Rajbhasha, our official language. Later, Dr. Laik Hussain discussed about the theatre in education and importance of role-play in classroom teaching with special features to uses the puppets, and demonstrated with the live acting to articulate the way of incorporating puppetry into education. The third day commenced with the teacher participation in listing of puppetry traditions of other concerning states, and a beautiful presentation was given by Arunachal Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh on the third day. This was followed by the lecture of Sri Deepak Dikshit, who demonstrated an interactive practical session on enhancing communication skill through meme and moment. The second session was continued with two lectures by Mr. Manish Sharma and Dr. P.C. Jain. They delivered their lectures on art of storytelling through creative puppets with special references to school curriculum, and imparting of value education through puppetry respectively. Mr. Manish Sharma conducted a practical session on storytelling and even evidently showed the scientific impact on the learners, whereas Mr. Jain delivered lectures involving all the participants in the classroom. Now, we are on the fourth day. The fourth day workshop starts with the regional contribution to Indian culture by the state of Bihar. This was followed by the lecture of Dr. Mahendra Bharnawat on history and genesis of Indian puppetry with a special reference to rural and folk tradition. It traced back the history of folk tales associated with puppetry and also emphasized on the importance of understanding the requirement of student. This session continued with a practical class by Mr. Ramchandra Sharma on the topic preparation and manipulation of finger puppet. This session ends with the viewing of CCRT audio-visual production. Now we are on the fifth day. The fifth day of the workshop start with the commencement regional presentation of Haryana, followed by the audio-visual presentation on puppet and lesson plan activity by program coordinator Mr. Hitesh Paneri. The second session has entirely been a practical session by Mr. Ramchandra Sharma on presentation and manipulation of shadow puppet. Day 7. It commenced with regional contribution to Indian cultures by the state of Jammu and Kashmir, followed by lesson plan activities by the participants. Mr. Vyom Singh Bolia talked about the health tradition in India later on. The second session continued with a lecture of Mr. Laik Hussain on puppetry as a medium of education, a new insight. Second lecture was Introduction to Contemporary Puppet Theatre. Now 8th start the group of participants from Karnataka presented their regional contribution to Indian culture, followed by Dr. M.P. Sharma's lecture on Swachhata Abhiyan, cleanliness is our responsibility, and cultural education and Gandhian philosophy. Mr. Prabhuth Pandey discussed on the discussion on education script for puppet plays. The 8-day ends with viewing of CCRT audiovisual production. Now day 9. The first session of day 9 commences with the contribution of yoga practices in the guidance of Dr. Bolia. Afterward, the participants along with officials were engaged in Swachh Bharat Abhiyan activities. The next segment of the session comprised lectures on importance of voice modulation in puppetry in production with rehearsal by Dr. Vilas Janve, who demonstrated several emotions with that can be expressed through puppet. Day 10 begins with regional contribution to Indian culture by the state of Puducherry and Telangana, followed by the lecture Mr. Janve on utilization of music, light and puppet stage for puppet production. The next session has entirely been a practical by Mr. Ramchandra on presentation and manipulation of rod puppet by giving the participant a story and asked to prepare a rod puppet on that. We are on the 11th day now. Day 11. This day commences with the cultural program of Chhattisgarh that has been mesmerizing. This session continued by the lecture given by Ritu Bhatnagar, who talked about New Education Policy 2020 with respect to integration of Indian languages, art and culture in school curriculum. She explained about strengthening of foundational literacy and numeracy through her lecture. Our lecture was followed by Dr. Satish Sharma, who talked on puppetry as a medium of inculcating the understanding of mythological texts, stories, legends, and traditions. Next session of this day has entirely been a practical session by Mr. Ramchandra Sarma on finalization of stories followed by rehearsal of the puppet plays by weaving CCRT audiovisual production. Day 11 comes to an end. Now day 12. This day commenced with a lot of energy as all the participants were taken to an educational tour in the guidance of program coordinator Mr. Hitesh Paneri. He has taken the participant to nearby monuments and museums like Moti Mangri, Lok Kala Mandal, Ahar Museum, Saheliyon Ki Badi, Shilpagram. Worksheet has been distributed to all the participants to fill their observation based on the given questionnaires. Day 14. Commence with the Uttar Pradesh cultural presentation followed by a lecture Professor Seema Malik on Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao and carried out discussion amongst participants. This has been a live and a useful session. The next segment of this session was continued for the finalization of lesson plan and distribution of CCRT educational materials and the useful classrooms teaching. It's useful for classroom teaching. Now we are at the last day of this workshop. This day start with that's what we are talking today. Today is the 15th day of this workshop and thus had been started with a mesmerizing performance of West Bengal cultural glimpse was shown by the participant of West Bengal and then final evaluation by the participant. Then we come to the Siddhi Samaroh. It was valedictory session, and this is all that what I collected in 15 days. But now 1 minute, I want to share my views. Definitely, this training session, this workshop, it gives me a lot of confidence, and I feel that we do not go to anywhere else. If I get a chance to join CCRT again, it will be a great matter for me, because here I can see the India only. The things which I learned here with my friends, I could not learn by going Jammu and Kashmir, by going Arunachal Pradesh and Kerala. And the cultural program that has been shown here, it I would not easily find by going Goa and Haryana. Okay, so that what I learned from here, it has been my sweet memory, and I'm very thankful for CCRT for giving me the opportunity to be here. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू अभिषेक, आपने बहुत अच्छी तरह से हमारे वर्कशॉप की जो प्रतिवेदन है, रिपोर्ट है, उसको आपने यहाँ पर ब्रीफली एक्सप्लेन किया सभी को, और आपने जो अपना एक्सपीरियंस खुद का बताया कि आप फिर से CCRT में आना चाहेंगे, हम आपको बुलाएंगे अवश्य, ठीक है? थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू। नेक्स्ट